films even after losing a box. After a 5-mile walk around town, I never smell your socks. You hid movies from your folks and your mom hid them from your grandma. And a lot of the time that we hang out, you record it with your camera. Always have the strength to forgive when I hit you in the eye. You eat Chinese ramen, nachos, fish, even pizza pie. Standing tall with curly hair, leather jacket wrapped. Oh look, here he comes, the Million Film Almanac. Bobbly, 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 bellissimo. Bobbly, 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 bellissimo. Bobbly, bellissimo. Bobbly, bellissimo.
Hi, and welcome to Terribly Fun Films. Today we are continuing with our annual look at Casper Van Dien's filmography. Today's film is the made-for-TV horror flick Night Scream. It stars Casper Van Dien, Candace Cameron, just before she went to get married, so it's now Candace Cameron Burr, Teri Garr, Dennis Arndt, a whole lot of people. And the single DVD for the movie is out of print and goes for about $25-30, which is around the cheapest I found it. You can get a 6-pack horror movie collection that has this movie and clearly 500 films in it for like $7. So that's how I was able to get the movie to watch it. But was all that effort worth it? Is the movie good? Let's find out as I review Night Scream. Night Scream sees Candace Cameron Burr playing two roles, that of the dead Laura Fairgate and of her doppelganger. She looks just like her character of Drew Summers, who inexplicably winds up in the same small town, I believe it's in Washington State, but I don't remember, that Laura died in, and people are mistaking her for Laura. Then she starts acting in weird ways and blocking out and can't remember things she said and did. Is Laura's ghost trying to prove who actually killed her? Is there something more sinister going on? The movie is based on a novel by Robert Speck, and I have not read the novel. I don't know how similar the two are. I don't know if it changed or anything like that. But the script is by 3 people: Eugenia Bostwick-Singer, who co-wrote with Raymond Singer, and then Gary Heisch came in and either did a rewrite, or the other 2 did the rewrite and he did the original one. I'm not sure the order of things there. In terms of the writing, characters are not the most dimensional. A lot of the characters only have a few defining traits, but they're all fairly reasonably intelligent. They all act in a rather consistent manner, and the plot of the movie is actually pretty interesting, with some cool twists and turns that help give the narrative more weight. Drew's not actually being possessed by Laura. She's pretending to be Laura based on information somebody in that town gave her to help clear somebody's name. Plot holes emerge in this because Drew starts actually seeing Laura, and Laura starts telling her things that the person from the town who's helping her never told Drew, and that creates a huge plot hole. But it creates a huge plot hole for something that's ultimately mostly entertaining, and it's only a huge plot hole if you stop and think about it for longer than 2 minutes. The direction is pretty okay. As with the writing, when Drew becomes Laura, they do weird, disorienting angles and real extreme close-ups or really odd shots that make you go, huh? But it's on purpose. The audience is meant to be discombobulated the same way the main character is. But when Laura actually takes over Drew, they do something else stylistically entirely, and that's not as successful, actually. They give Drew full-on visions done in a very obvious day for night, blue tint, a lot of just awkwardness there. And those are meant to be all these flashbacks to things that Drew couldn't have known that the actual ghost is telling her. The reason it doesn't work is because you, as an audience member, instantly know that the style here is so much different than anything else going on in the movie, that it's very clearly actual visions of actual things that happened to the dead person. That robs the movie of tension in that regard. Having these flashbacks too closer to the Drew becomes Laura stuff and make the audience also question what's real and what not would have really helped sell the, not the supernatural stuff, but help sell the idea that Drew is pretending a little bit more and a little bit less, actually, because then we wouldn't know who she's acting for or when it's real and things like that. And that would have upped the game and made the stakes a little bit higher, I feel. The other main problem with Night Scream is that with a title like Night Scream and the premise such as it is, it's not actually really a horror movie. It's more of a dramatic mystery thriller. So there is a distinct lack of scare. There are a few sequences that are fairly thrilling, but it is drama mystery. So let me make that abundantly clear now. Some people going into this expecting it to be more horror than it is will probably be disappointed. You know what you're in for, though. You won't be disappointed on that front at the very least. Gary Scheinman did the score, and it's serviceable. In a lot of the actual visions and flashbacks you just heard me mention, it's just very ethereal, sort of ambient noise going on in terms of the music. And it works there. It does not work elsewhere when it's just like the reporter and Drew on outing in town. It feels a little too hard, a little too, this is a small town, if that makes sense. Like it's trying to force down the normalness of what's going on in that town down your throat. Does that make sense? The editing is by Michael Brown, and the editing is really good. You're never that confused by things, and when you are discombobulated or disoriented, it is on purpose. So, no issues there. In terms of costumes and set design and all that jazz, the movie looks fine. It takes place in modern day for when it was made, 1997. And, yes, it looks like your average made-for-TV movie at the time. Nothing stellar, but nothing terrible either. So I've already discussed some of the smaller issues with the film, such as the actual vision being so stylistically different that it robs tension, and the characters not being quite fully developed, but not just one-dimensional either. It's, complicated. But the biggest issue of the movie is Candace Cameron for herself. She's just not very good here. Of course, I'm of the age where I did grow up watching Full House. I liked it when I was younger, 7, 8, 9, whatever. But I have seen it as an adult. It did not age well. It's a bad show. Lame jokes. Awkward plotting. Weird setup. Just it doesn't really work. That is not to say any one of the actors on that show are bad. Everybody delivers the kind of performance that was expected of them, given the kind of sitcom it was. Here, Candace Cameron's sitcom roots really show through. In the quieter scenes, where she doesn't have any dialogue and it's just all in her facial expressions, she does just fine. But most of her dialogue comes out so rapid fire, so quick, that no matter how much dramatic weight it's meant to have, no matter what it's meant to be revealing, no matter what it's meant to be thing about the plot, about the character, about other characters that she knows, it all comes out lightning quick, as if she's rushing through it to get to the next joke because she's on a sitcom. Sitcom dialogue, especially in the 90s, was very snappy, quick. You got through it real quick to get to the next joke. You just kept going. It didn't matter. It was a sitcom. Movies are different. So when you stating the line, "Where are they, Mommy? Where are my things? Where are the rest of my things? My diaries? Where are my diaries, Mommy?" You should say it. That does come from a moment when Drew is either possessed for real or fake possessed by Laura Farragate. You should say it in a manner that doesn't sound like it's trying to get the next setup for the next joke. It shouldn't come off, "Mommy, where are my diaries, Mommy? Where are the rest of my things? I need my diaries." It should come off as, "Mommy, where are my things, Mommy? Where are the rest of my things? Where are my diaries? I need my diaries." Now, A, I'm not an actor. I have never claimed to be one. I am not good at acting, so forgive all that you just saw. B, I'm also terrible at impersonation. That is not how I am saying Candace Cameron ever sounded either in this movie or ever throughout the rest of her life. But in terms of the speed and intonation of those two examples I just gave of that moment, she hews much closer to the real fast one. And with a few exceptions, that's true of every scene she's in the film. And I think there's 3 or 4 scenes she's not in. She is 98% of this movie. And that sucks for this movie. That sucks a lot for this movie, actually. She is not a compelling screen presence in this regard whatsoever. It doesn't work. She fails to imbue the character of Drew/Laura the right amount of empathy or dramatic weight, given that one of the characters was murdered. And mind you, everybody knows the character was murdered. It's trying to figure out who actually did it. That's the mystery of the movie. The other one is slowly becoming actually possessed by the murdered person while pretending to be possessed by the murdered person. And she gives it all the dramatic weight of, well, of an episode of Full House. And this robs the movie of any lasting tension or interest. The biggest crime about that is every other actor in the film is really, really damn good. Teri Garr plays Julie Ordwell. Laura was her daughter from her first marriage, and she is clinging to the idea that Drew might actually be Laura, or might be possessed by Laura, desperately. And she's great. There's a sequence where Julie, Teri Garr's character, and Drew are becoming friends, and Julie takes her out shopping and buys her some really expensive stuff. And Drew feels a little awkward accepting it, but Julie kind of convinces her to do it. She doesn't have a daughter or any family outside of her husband anymore. She has her grandkids. So, and they have all this money. So, and it's a great scene. Teri Garr plays it perfectly. It's a very sweet scene. The idea that she wants to still be a mom, that she wants to take care of somebody younger, and she kind of wants that life back, full display there. It's awesome. And in the more desperate scenes for the character, like when Drew first shows up, which happens to be the 1-year anniversary of Laura Farragate's death, because, again, the writing is mostly good, but not entirely. Her confusion over what's happening and her anger at this could possibly be a prank is amazing. Casper Van Dien plays the character of Teddy Johnson, and I can't really get into the character without revealing certain aspects. But I will say, most people in the town think the character is dead. They believe him to have killed himself after Laura Fairgate died. Casper Van Dien is playing him not just in flashbacks. So the character is alive, and this is much as we go into detail there, because the rest is spoiler territory. Casper Van Dien is damn good. He plays the character perfectly. A late in the game reveal is really well done. Really well handled on his end at true intentions, who is actually doing everything for, what he's truly trying to get out of this. And he handles all that very well, very dramatically, and makes you both hate and sympathize with his character all at the same time. The sheriff character who keeps running into Drew because when Drew becomes possessed, whether for real or fakesies, is trying to, keep this from becoming public outrage, trying to keep people calm from whatever's going on. We call that Bobby Hosey, and he's really good. He delivers a very strong, engaging performance that makes you see his side of things, even when he's telling Drew to just leave. Don't come back, leave. I don't care if it is Laura Fairgate actually possessing you. You need to get out of here. You're disrupting everything about the town. We're trying to put this behind us. That does sound like a mean thing to say, but you see his point of view. You understand why he's saying that and where he's coming from, trying to protect the peace of the town. It makes sense. My two favorite performances in the film, though, are by Dennis Arndt playing Ray Ordwell Sr., now married to Julie, the Dark character, whose son, Ray Jr., also mysteriously disappeared the night of Laura Fairgate's murder. And again, that's part of the mystery. Teddy disappeared, presumably killed himself. Ray disappeared. Ray Jr. disappeared. No one's sure what's going on. And he is excellent. He's both menacing and sweet, sometimes all in the same scene. His believable nature about wanting to protect certain people and wanting to help other people, well, it's believable and that sort of thing. But by far, I think the best is Ned Vaughn's character. He plays the reporter Charles Pendleton, and Ned Vaughn is super charming. You'll recognize Ned Vaughn as a returning character actor on shows like 24 or Commander-in-Chief or Desperate Housewives or anything like that. He also had minor parts in a ton of different movies and voice work in video games like L.A. Noire, and he's really damn good here. His portrayal of the desperate to have left reporter but got stuck here because he knows it. He was a little scared to leave, especially after things that happened when he was a little bit younger. He's rock solid. He's entertaining, sweet, charming. You really do believe him when he says he wants to get to the truth and wants to help Drew figure out everything that's going on here. Yeah, it's a spectacular performance. And a cast that's mostly full of damn good performances, except for your lead. Overall, Night Scream is a very odd movie. It has some really great things. Majority of the cast, the attempt at stylization for the separate things going on. Real life, Drew pretending to be possessed, Drew actually being possessed. And the characters aren't just one-dimensional, which is nice. But the characters aren't fully fleshed out either. The plotting does give very low stakes because the audience can easily guess where things are going due to the stylistic choices made by the director for the different areas: real life, fake possession, real possession. And the lead, he's really bad. With a different lead, I would not be as harsh on this movie, I guarantee it. But she can't sell it. She does not sell the character in a way that's realistic or engaging. And given how good the rest of the cast is, that's unacceptable. If you're interested in the movie, based on how the plot sounds, based on anyone in the cast, you can do worse. This movie has a lot going for it, and given the late 90s when it was made, given its production budget and things like that, it's actually not terrible. It's just that for every two great things, there's something equally as annoying that takes place within the same area. As always, I've been your host, Bobby. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time with Countdown to Disaster.